Hey guys, it is Christine. Let me make sure I'm live really quick before I jump into everything. Okay, so I'm gonna add Alex Benton real quick and then we will get going. Okay, no, that's invite friends to watch. How do I do this? Oh, here we go. Boom. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work, Alex? Oh, invite to broadcast. This is so fun. Yee. Is it working? Make sure you're on your Wi-Fi, girl.
Hey.
No, you're sideways.
Is that better?
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Okay,
this is so fun. Okay.
Hold on. I gotta put this in my thing. Oh gosh. I have this all set up and then it threw me for a curveball.
Okay, so I'm gonna share this really quick while we all get set up. I've had way too much coffee.
Hold on. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Okay.
You're so
This
cute.
is so much fun, you guys. Hello.
Okay. Now, all I see is live viewers. How do I get to the comments?
I see comments.
Oh, okay. Hi, Linda. I see comments too. Yay! Ashley's on. Okay, sharing real quick to a couple of groups. This is so fun. It's just like we're talking on FaceTime.
I know. I love it.
Okay.
I'm going to invite some people too.
Yes, you do that. I will share, you invite.
Okay.
We're a team. We got this.
Yes, girl.
Your group is Abundant Radiance. I can't talk.
Yes.
Radiance.
That's it.
You guys, bear with us, okay? We are going to get started in like a minute or less.
This is so much fun.
Yay! Okay, one more. I'm sharing into. I have to talk out loud. Okay.
Hey, Dana.
I think I got everything. And I tagged you, so it should be on your timeline now.
Awesome. You're the best. Hey, cheers.
Water. Let's get wasted on water. Just kidding. Okay. So, oh my gosh, I have the smiles. Hey, Britt. Okay.
Hey, girl.
So, you guys, welcome. Alex and I are so excited that you're here. When you hop on, feel free to comment below and say hi, because we don't always get to see who pops up as you log on. My name is Christine Ibarra, and I am an independent lead beauty guide with LimeLight by Alcone.
And I am Alex Benton, and I am a star beauty guide with LimeLight by Alcone. And this is the most fun I've ever had. I just had to put that out there.
What, today, right now?
No, like the whole experience in general has just been amazing. I have no other words to say except it's been amazing. Like, just so unexpected, and I'm just so excited to be here.
Me too, dude. It's been fun.
So fun.
Thank you guys so much again for joining us. We want to kind of give you guys a rundown of what our first complete month has been like with LimeLight. Technically, we've been a part of the company for about 6 weeks. And so, but we just completed our first month, June, and we've both just been blown away, texting each other like, can you even believe this? Like, almost on a daily basis.
It doesn't even feel like real life to me.
Yeah, I know.
Mind blowing.
Yeah. So I'll give you guys a little history about Alex and I. Okay, so Alex's husband and my husband used to be in the Air Force, and we were both stationed at Misawa Air Force Base in Japan. This was a long time ago. In 2005, we were both there, and we met each other because we both worked at the Air Force Base Exchange as receptionists. And we shared a desk together, and that's how we met. And we became friends and started hanging out. And I lived in Japan for 3 years, but I think Alex, you got there like a year before me, right?
I was there. Yeah, I was there for 3 years total as well.
And you were there. Were you there when I had Rudy?
I was.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
My memory sucks. I think she left right after I had my baby there. And so the Air Force they brought us together, but they split us up, and we both lived in totally different parts, and we still do, of the country. But we kept in touch through phone calls and eventually text messages, because we didn't have that in Japan. No. And social media, and I'm listening to my kid call me, sorry. And so anyways, so Alex and I both became interested in direct sales. Now, I had already had like a previous experience with direct sales, and in a different industry, not beauty, but in health and wellness. And I failed miserably. Not miserably. I just was like, this isn't working for me, and decided that I wasn't a salesperson and that direct sales was not for me. I didn't have a huge network and yada, yada, yada. So I had said, I'm done with direct sales. I'm never doing it again. Fast forward to having my second baby. I wanted to stay home with him. I had to figure out a way to earn income. And I had already been doing I had already started running my own business. I was a holistic nutrition consultant and a CrossFit trainer, and I was doing that out of my home, but I wasn't able to keep going with that because my little one required so much of my time. And so I needed something where I could work in my pajamas. Like literally, I didn't have to get dressed. I didn't have to take a shower. And it didn't matter if I brushed my teeth. And so I found out that Alex had started something new. And I was like, okay, tell me about this, right? So we have a phone call conversation, and Alex is like, this is awesome. These products are amazing, and you should try it. And I'm like, this is, I'm blocking Ricky.
Thanks.
Bye, Ricky. What am I saying? I totally lost my train of thought.
So we reconnected through this other business. We had always kind of stayed in touch, but we weren't like super close after we left Japan, because I was in South Dakota, I was in Oklahoma, Christine was like in California. She was a lot of different places, but we reconnected through social media. She found out that I had started this business venture. We've always been really like-minded as far as like entrepreneurship and things like that. And so she decided to give it a shot. We've been doing this together for over 2.5 years, and it just keeps getting better. We were obviously with our previous company for 2.5 years. We've decided to make the switch to LimeLight, and I just can't tell you guys the difference in both of us. Like, we are both like the happiest we've ever been with our business, and it's just been amazing. Like, I can't even comprehend what is going to happen in the blown my mind. Like, everything I expected it to be it's like just blown my expectations out of the water. Like I can't even explain it. Do you want to elaborate on that? I'm just like giddy, guys. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know, me too. Yeah, it's funny because we had both been working at our former company for about 2.5 years, and we were always both on the same page about where we were at in our business and where we wanted to go. Our goals and expectations and all that were always pretty much on the same page. And so it's funny because I have a funny story, because Alex and I had been watching LimeLight beauty guides on the down low, like on the side, like watching some people on Facebook, seeing their successes, seeing their crazy numbers. And Alex and I are both numbers people. So we're watching these numbers and we're like, they must be lying. They must be lying. There's no way. There's no way. We're working so hard. We're working so hard. And that just seems, you know, completely out of the park, you know? So we're like, they be lying. They're lying, right? And it's funny because we both have a mutual friend who we were watching specifically, and her name is Holly. And so one night I was on a walk and I was watching this video, and it inspired me to message Holly. I was like, you know what? This is it. This is my sign. I need to message Holly right now. I need to talk to her. And Alex was doing the same thing. Like on the same night, she messaged Holly.
Same time.
Yeah. And so I have a conversation with Holly and I'm like, gosh, I really need to look into this more because it just seems like too good to be true. I want to learn about it. I want to find out, you know? And so the next morning, Alex sends me a text message and she's like, I messaged Holly last night. And I said, I messaged Holly last night. And so it's just so funny because we've both just been on the same page all the time, you know, about business. And so that kind of led us into looking into the LimeLight opportunity more and finding out that it isn't too good to be true. It is really good. It is a really good opportunity, and it's good for us, our personalities, our goals, our all of that stuff.
And I just have to mention that Holly totally thought that we were playing her because we both messaged her at the same exact time. I mean, this was not planned at all. Like, it was completely random. And I took that as kind of a sign that, you know, maybe this is something, I mean, if we're both thinking about it, maybe this is something that we should pursue. And it took a lot. It took a lot of convincing. It took a lot of messaging back and forth with Holly. It took, it wasn't just something that I just jumped right into because I was scared, and I know that Christine was scared, and we were talking back and forth. I mean, like she said, we have been watching Holly for 8 months. We met her at a previous convention, and right after we met her is when she made the switch to LimeLight. So we had been kind of watching her back and forth. Holly friended me on Facebook after we met the first time, and she went over to LimeLight, and I got tired of seeing all her numbers and I unfriended her. And eventually I was like, okay, what is this chick doing? Like, why is she so successful? And so I started talking to her again. It was never something that I was dead set on doing. Like, I was going to be with my previous company for life. Like, that was what I was going to do. And I had an amazing team. I had amazing customers. I was very passionate about that company, as you guys know, if you follow me on Facebook. And so it was always like in the back of my mind, but it was never something that I was going to do. Like, I would message her and then I would push it under the rug. And it was, like I said, I never imagined in a million years that I would ever leave that previous company ever. But sometimes things happen and you see the light. So that was the point I was at.
Yeah, yeah. And I, of course, you know what I'm going to say. I was totally the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we had multiple conversations where we'd be like, what's up with LimeLight? It has to be too good. I don't think so. I don't want to do it. No, 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 no. Let's just stay where we are, you know, because we loved our last company and we, you know, loved the people and our team and the products. And you guys know that if I tell you something that I love something, I mean, I'm telling you the truth and I loved the products. However, when I left that company, I did get a lot of messages about people complaining about the products, but I didn't like really hear too much about that while I was with them. So it was a big eye opener for me once we did make the decision to leave. How many messages I got, people saying like, you know, tell me more, yada yada. But yeah, so to finish out that little story, we were following Holly, watching her numbers. We became super, super interested. We talked to her about the compensation plan. We talked to her about the structure of the company and how it worked, you know, compared to what we were super familiar with. And everything about it was just everything we wanted our current company at that time to be. Everything sounded really, really good. So we were like, well, now we need to try the products because, you know, we have to love the products in order to represent the products. And so we got some samples in the mail, and I think, do we get them on the same day?
I got mine first. It was the same day. I was sitting outside on my front porch,
Yeah.
so I didn't try them right away. But I was like texting Christine. I got my package, texting her pictures. I wanted to hate the samples. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna get these samples, right? And they're gonna be terrible, and it's gonna be so much easier for me not to do it. So I brought this catalog in here. I opened up the box. All these samples were like boxed up or whatever, and there was catalog. So I opened it up and I saw the catalog and I was like, oh my gosh, like this catalog is beautiful. It's such a breath of fresh air. Like everything is so professional looking, clean. It was not what I was used to. So even before I tried the samples, I had fallen in love with like the classiness of it. I mean, everything is just so professionally done that I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I really need to hate these samples now. I'm just going to put them on and I'm not going to love them. So, because I can't sell something that I don't absolutely love. And I did. I thought that I loved the products that I was selling, but sometimes you find something that you didn't know you were missing. You know, you find something that you love and then you find something else that's even better and you had no idea, you know, that anything could be better. So that was the point I was at. So I fell in love with the catalog first. And then that night, I tried the samples and I just fell in love again, which made it very difficult. I did not want to love the products. I didn't. I'm just being honest, y'all.
Yeah, I was the same way. She sent me a selfie of the foundation on her skin and I was in shock. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. I was like, oh no, the foundation looks amazing. And I hadn't got my stuff yet. So I was like, okay, well, everything looks good on you. I'm rationalizing all this. Everything looks good on you. Watch, I'll put it on me and it'll be horrible. And then we can like not go and it'll be fine. We can stay in our comfort zone and everything will be okay. Yeah. Because, you know, going from, I mean, I loved my foundation. And so when I was getting ready to try this new foundation, I was like, oh, it's a totally different consistency. It's not liquid. It's a wax-based foundation. And yeah, it may be used by professional makeup artists on, you know, like the Kardashians, but I have bad skin and they don't have bad skin. So it's going to look bad on me, but not them. I mean, this is all the stuff that I'm really, really thinking, you know? And so I looked up some tips on how to apply my sample of foundation and my concealer. I put it on my face, and I couldn't freaking believe that my skin looked so good. And you guys, I've had years of acne. I have holes in my face. I have all this stuff going on. And I put this on and I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I have to love this stuff. It's crazy.
I think you actually sent me a selfie that evening or that afternoon, and I was like thinking to myself, there has to be a filter on that. Like, I had just used the foundation on myself, so I knew how amazing it was. But after Christine sent me a picture, I'm like, is there some kind of filter on your picture?
Yeah.
Because that looks so good, like flawless. It was flawless. That was the only way I could describe it. And she's like, no, like, this is just the foundation. And I was mind blown. Mind blown.
Yeah. And the other thing about that foundation too is that I had been using a liquid foundation and a powder for extra coverage because I have so much redness. And I told her, I was like, I haven't even used powder. This is just foundation and then concealer under my eyes. And we were just blown away by the quality and the results. I mean, just crazy, you know? And so we got some skincare samples and we tried those out. So after that moment, after we tried the foundation, we were like, son of a gun, we're going to have to change. I freaking love the products. What am I going to do? We're going to have to change, right? So then we had to get really uncomfortable and make the decision. So no kidding, I think it was probably about a week and a half after that I like couldn't sleep. I was anxious. I was like, oh my gosh, is this the right thing for me, for my family? And we were both just freaking out about having to make the change. I mean, it was really scary, really scary. All change is scary, but yeah, career changes are big. Adulting, big time.
I, at one point in my previous company, had like 300 people on my team, and for me, that was really hard to just up and leave. Now, all 300 of them were not active at that time, of course, because people come and go, and that's what happens in direct sales. But just thinking about the past 2.5 years and building my business and having this team was really, really hard. That was the hardest part for me. I knew that my customers would be fine because these products were incredible and they trusted me, and they would be willing to trust me and try the new products. However, my team was my main concern, and that was a really difficult thing for me.
Because when you do a business like this in direct sales and you have a team of women that you work with and talk to on a daily basis, they become like your family. And so it's really hard to branch away from that, you know. You want them to come with you, but they have to do that on their own.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so we decided, dude, love the stuff, love the products, love the compensation plan, love the Fast Start program. It all sounds good. Now we just need to take the leap. Like, hold your breath and jump in. So now we've been in for 6 weeks, and on a daily basis, we're just blown away and impressed. I mean, the leadership is crazy. I mean, it's crazy to me that these women above us, and I'm thinking of 3 specific women who are pretty much at the top of the company, and they show up every single day to work. They are available 24/7. I mean, you know, I can message my upline, you know, above Alex and ask her a question because, you know, Alex and I joined together. So we're both learning all of this together. So I can message my upline above her a question and she will get right back to me, which is really, really nice and a breath of fresh air coming from where we were. We're very self-driven, self-motivated people. So we had created a team and kind of really led the show, you know, for our team on our own. So it's really nice to have people who are there and who offer like daily challenges and just so much, you know, they're so involved.
I just need to add something too. Something that I've noticed is that the training that we get, which is hands down the best training ever, there's multiple places to go for training, but it's not only about getting sales. It's not about, it's about growing yourself to enhance your business. It's not just about, well, you have to go out and sell $5,000 worth of product in order to grow your business. No, they actually care, genuinely care about their beauty guides, and they want the best for them. It's about being a better person. It's not about being a better salesperson, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And also too, I like that as far as leadership goes, I like that we get shown the tools and the steps on how to do something, not just go do this. Oh, you're having, you know, you're in a rut, go do this. You know, it's like, have you tried this? You know, troubleshooting, do this, try A, B, and C, and then maybe we'll get you there, or da da da. You know, it's like just way more involved, you know?
Completely.
Yeah, the training, all of that. I feel like it's super organized too. I feel like we know like our specific places where we can go to learn about something. It's like, you know, one spot. So we wanted to touch a little bit on the comp plan and the fast start, because that is, you know, like I said, we are numbers girls. So the comp plan and the fast start was really like what, you know, caught our eye. So I do want to mention that the compensation plan has so many intricate details of it. It's not cut and dry, like as cut and dry as our last one was, where it's just like, oh yeah, this and this, that's our pay, and yada yada. There are so many ways that you can earn more here, more there. And I remember Holly told us, like, you just have to kind of experience it. And I was like, well, I want to know all about it. I want to learn all about it right now, because that's just, you know, my personality. And she was like, well, it's just, there's so much. And so you see that when you check your back office and you look at all of, you know, your sales and your team sales and everything, you see a little chunk here, a little chunk there. And it adds up, you guys, like crazy.
It's almost overwhelming to me. Like if you go in your back office, it'll give you a breakdown of where every single penny comes from. Basically, you know, you get this for being an enroller, and you get this for your sales, and it's broken down, and you can actually physically go in there and look at where every penny comes from. At any point in the month, you can go in your back office and see exactly what your paycheck is going to be. Like if the month ends right now, this is what you're going to get paid, which I really like. But it's still so overwhelming to me because I haven't mastered the compensation plan yet, and that's one of the things that I'm still learning, and Christina's still learning, because like she said, there's so many details and so many different ways to actually get paid. I look in my back office and my jaw like hits the floor every time, because even though it's broken down and I can see where everything is coming from, like I still don't understand it all. Like I feel like I'm almost getting paid too much for like what I'm doing right now, because I was so used to the way I was getting paid before.
Yeah. So you guys know that like we do videos, like I was doing eyeshadow tutorials like crazy, spending a lot of time away from my family, you know, having my husband watch my boys while I do my makeup. And he's like, how did your live go? And I'm like, great. I had, this many viewers. And he'd be like, you know, are you making any money? Like, did you make any money off of that? And I'm like, no, I didn't. So I was putting so much work into my business before that I literally did like a mental check, reality check. And I was like, this is just how my business is going to be. I'm going to work really, really hard and I'm going to get paid this X amount, or, somewhere around there on average. So I really settled. I was like, this is how it's going to be. And I can either choose to do it or I can choose to quit. And that's it, So I had lowered my expectations drastically as far as pay went, and the amount of time I put into it. The first 2 weeks of this company, I just seriously, I kept texting Alex, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Oh my gosh. And we
almost thought it was like, I almost thought it was a mistake. Like they were going to be like, oh, just kidding. Like we messed up. You're not really getting this much. Sure. And I don't want to say that. It wasn't huge, like a huge amount, but it was so
more.
So much more than what we ever expected, what we ever got. I was 2 stops away from the top of my previous company, and you would think with 300 people on your team that you would be like, being compensated your worth, and I wasn't. I'm not going to say it was, that I wasn't being paid, because I was, but I wasn't being paid what I should have been. And with LimeLight, I feel like I'm being paid too much. Like, I'm afraid they're going to be like, oh, sorry, we made a mistake. But it's just crazy.
Yeah. Friday, my husband works from home every single Friday, and we share this office. So I have my cubicle set up, right? So his desk is over here and mine's here, right? So I come in and I've gotten so many requests for samples, you guys. Like, I have a waiting list that I am like working on making samples, right? So I come in and I start working, and I go and I click in my back office on my computer, and I go, oh my God. And Rudy's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, it's a good, oh my God. Like, I was freaking out because my compensation just jumped up $200 in one day. And I just couldn't believe it. You guys, I sound ridiculous, but I just couldn't believe it. It was crazy. Rudy's like, oh my gosh. And I said, babe, come look at the screen. Come look at this. Look at this with your own eyes. Like, am I dreaming? Really? So
it's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. And also too, the fast start, and I checked with Holly to make sure that we could talk about numbers with fast start, because we can't really say exactly how much we make publicly as far as compensation goes, but because the fast start program is a set amount and it's not based on sales and percentages like that, we can talk about amounts. And so far, I haven't even finished the fast start yet, but so far I've made $700 in cash and product credit with just fast start. And you guys, I only have a team of 6. I had a team of 6. In my last company, at one point I had like 72 people under me, but maybe like 20 people working. But I have 6 women on my team that are working their business, and I'm blown away, just blown away.
Yeah. Like I said before, I at one point had 300 people on my team. Right now, we're sitting at 14. We just went from 12 to 14. And my compensation is the most it's ever been. So Um, it's just hard to wrap my mind around that it's real life. And I'm not saying that to bash anybody or any other company, because I was very thankful for that company and I was very thankful for everything that it provided me. And I just thought that was how it was and that was how it's going to be. Like, I didn't know that it could get better, you guys, but it has. And I'm just blown away. So.
Mm-hmm. Yes, totally agree. Like I said, without saying any numbers, in the last 6 weeks, I have made what I would make in 2 or 3 of my very best hardworking months in 6 weeks. So, it's possible, you guys. Like, I wasn't born with, a wealthy family with a bunch of family friends and connections. I'm originally from Northern California. I live in the middle of Texas right now. I don't have any family around me. My husband's family is scattered all throughout Texas, but, I don't depend on my family for sales. So it's like, that's what it is. It's network marketing. You have to get out there and expand your network because that's what it is. And I have been fortunate in the way that my hard work has paid off to build my network. And yeah, so it's nice to feel like you're getting compensated for your hard work. Because for a long time, I felt like I was working so hard and I was going nowhere. But that being said, like Alex said, I am super grateful for my last experience, and it made me, who I am today, and I don't regret anything,
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to add to that, Alex?
One thing I wanted to say is that as a leader, it was very difficult for me to sit back and, make money and watch all these girls who are on my team struggle and work so hard. If you guys have followed Christine at all, you know that she is constantly working her business. She's constantly going live. She's amazing. She does everything she needs to do, like, every day. And just seeing her and knowing that she wasn't getting paid for her efforts, that was really hard for me as a leader. And so now when she's texting me, like, she's just so happy, and that makes it all worth it to me, because I know that one of the reasons that I made the switch was for that reason. So, like, it almost makes me cry when I see that she's finally being compensated for her hard work.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's totally crazy. And my husband and I mean, because when it really came down to the decision making, it was really about, not just Alex and I trying to decide together, but my husband and I, Alex's husband and her, trying to decide, is this right for our family? And so Rudy was like, babe, you got to do it. So I'm really glad that I did, and so is he. He was really glad I did too.
So my actual job is a surgical tech. So I was working a lot. I was at the hospital a lot. I was on call a lot. And with daycare prices, my husband and I decided as a family that I would stay home this summer because I have 2 boys, and they were going to be, both in daycare during the summer. And like what I was making at my job just wasn't worth it. So I had just quit my job in April, and my husband was out of town almost all of May. So he didn't have a clue that I was even thinking about this. I didn't talk to him about it. I was, because, I wasn't planning on doing it. So I was like, why even bring it up, And so he was gone for like 2 weeks. He came home one weekend, and then he was gone again on Monday. And that weekend, I kind of brought it up to him. Here I am. I just quit my real job to stay home with my kids. And the money that I was making at my previous company, we depended on that. I used that for my kids, for their extracurricular activities. I used it for grocery money, gas. It wasn't a huge amount, but like we depended on that money. Here I am. I just quit my other job to stay home with the kids. And now I'm telling my husband, I think I'm going to, quit unique. I shouldn't have said that word. I'm sorry. I'm going to quit this job. And I expected him to be like, what? Like, no, like you can't do that. He's always been so supportive of anything that I've ever done. But at the same time, we depended on that paycheck. And so he was just like, okay, whatever, do it. And I was like, no, like you're supposed to tell me no, that, you're going to be my excuse of why I'm not going to like pursue this other, experience. And he was just like, okay, whatever. And I expected to have to build my new business for at least 6 months to get back to where I was. And that's not what happened at all. That is not the case. Like I expected to not really make any money for at least 6 months. But it didn't even take a month to go above and beyond. So without going into any further detail, like I'm just completely shocked. Like I was expecting 6 months at least.
Yeah.
And here we are, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's totally crazy. I wanted to talk a little bit about the products since you guys have heard us talk numbers because that's our thing. So I was going to share a little bit of the LimeLight by Alcone history. So the co-founders of LimeLight by Alcone are an aunt and a niece. And the niece, her grandfather is who started Alcone Company. Alcone Company they now provide all different brands of makeup to professional makeup artists. And so her grandfather started the company by selling lipstick and false eyelashes to ladies on Broadway. And so they got into Broadway and cinema and all of that and became like the go-to place for celebrities, celebrity makeup artists. And so when the co-founders got together, they decided that they wanted to make those, products available to the average consumer, like, us and people who aren't makeup artists, who aren't celebrities. And so that's been like their concept that they've kept to. And then they brought in 100% natural skincare, certified cruelty-free, harmful chemical-free, so that you can feel really good about putting the skincare on your face. And it's crazy. It's really, really good stuff. I'm pretty happy with it.
Me too.
Yeah. Of course, we're both wearing our makeup today. I got my highlighter in, 2 days ago? Blush 6. I love it. But overall, you guys have heard us brag about this for 40 minutes now. We're super happy. I'm super glad that we made this decision. I'm glad that we did it together, and I'm glad that it turned out so good. So far, we still have so much more. Our journey has just begun. So anything else you want to add before we do like a Q&A?
I don't think so. I think it shows how happy we are.
Because I can't stop smiling.
I just want to say that if, even if it's not LimeLight, if it's something else that you're considering, just go with your gut, do what you have to do. Don't worry about anybody else and their opinions. And just do it for yourself and for your family, whatever it is.
Right. Yeah. I know a lot of people have, discovered that the makeup and skincare industry isn't for them. And like, I discovered that health and wellness wasn't for me. But my personality is like, whatever I do at 110%. So of course, if I had to go back to it, of course I would do it 110%. But I do feel like I finally have found like my home, like where I feel like I can create that success story that I've heard so many people say that they've had. This company has changed my life. I was never able to say that before. And I finally feel like I will get my success story. I will be able to say that.
I agree. And I love watching other people succeed. Like, that's why we get in this business, is to help other people succeed. And the fact that I am seeing that come to fruition now, it just makes me so happy.
Yeah, I feel the same way about you. Being able to see my team be successful is so rewarding. And yeah. So I know we've kind of talked your ear off, but I did want to open this up. And I guess if you're on or if you're watching the replay, either way, you can post your questions or comments below. We'd love to answer any questions you have. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions. I know this company right now is just in the US, so I do have a huge long list of Canada girls and Australia girls, and I got a couple of girls in Italy that are waiting for this company to go global. And so I know they are so excited to get started, and I can't wait to just give them the go ahead that we are going to their country, because they're on my list. I know girls, as soon as I get word, I will tell you. What else was I gonna say?
I wanted to add that when Christine and I joined, there was about 12,000 beauty guides in the US. I don't know what it's up to now. I believe it's probably 13 to 14,000. Holly, I see that you're on, so if you know that number, could you shout it out below? Because that's a huge thing for me. We're brand new. Like, we are just getting started, and I can't imagine how much better it can get. Like, I don't think it can get any better. So I'm just excited to see where we go from here.
Me too. I think it's somewhere around 14,000 I saw.
Okay, that's
which
what
is
I'm
still
thinking.
Yeah, it's still ground floor. It is it's just the beginning for this company. I know, like, with our last company, it was about 10 times that big when we got involved. And so I'm super excited to see where this goes, and it's wonderful so far. It's only going to get better. So I guess with that said, I'm not seeing any questions pop up, but if you guys have any questions, please comment below, and either Alex or I will get back to you. If you want to send us a message privately, if you have something that you want to ask us and you don't, Brittany's talking about 700. I think it's almost 800,000 now, actually, in the old company that we were with. But yeah, if you have any questions, if you want to send us a message privately, like I said, please feel free to do so. I know there's because we were scared when we made the decision to switch companies. If you feel like you're nervous about that and you want to keep your anonymity, we will honor that. We're not going to be, gossiping or anything. And what's the difference between LimeLight and your old company? A lot. How are the incentives better with LimeLight? So I don't know. Do you want to answer that, Alex?
Incentives as far as compensation, or can you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah. So, because this company has incentives, they're different, but they have incentives like our last company did. They have trip incentives. So they just announced yesterday that the trip incentive is to Aruba, and the qualification period is yesterday all the way until October 31st. So Alex and I are both going to be working our butts off to get there and to get our team there.
Mm-hmm. As far as compensation goes, there's really no comparison. If you are interested, Christine has a link she can send you that explains the compensation plan. It's a lot of detail. It's a lot of information that we really can't go into right now. It's very overwhelming. But we can definitely get you the information if you are interested. So.
Yeah, I have a handy little link on the compensation plan YouTube video that is really good. It's not like too in detail, but you get the structure of it. And then I also have another video with more history on the company, and the Fast Start program too, charts and stuff like that. Everybody's different. I'm very visual. I like everything to be laid out in a chart so I can see it. I'm a chart girl. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in. I can shoot you those links and images, and I guess that's pretty much it. Anything else?
Christine, let me just ask you a question. How many parties have you done since you joined LimeLight?
I was like, oh my God, what is it going to be? Oh my gosh. I am so glad you asked that, because I have done 0 parties. Zero parties.
Online parties, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't done any parties yet.
You haven't done any parties?
None. 0. Zip. How many have you done?
I have done a couple, like, just in-home things. But as far as online parties, I haven't done any. I do a lot of one-on-ones, but no parties.
That is crazy. Yeah. That is a big difference between our old company and our current company, is that those are not required.
No. They're not even encouraged.
Not required, not encouraged. That's, I don't know, that was like huge, right?
Yeah, huge.
But you guys know I love to party. I'm a party girl, but I prefer home parties.
Yeah.
Home parties are so fun because I'm social. I love to get together with my friends and girlfriends and stuff. And, it's just a better interaction, and it's not forced, and people, show up who want to be there.
Yeah. For sure.
What are the hostess benefits if someone wants to have a party?
Again, we have a chart that we can send you that tells you exactly what the benefits are. Being that we're not really a huge party company, the benefits are a little bit different than they were, but there's definitely hostess benefits if you're interested.
Yes. Yeah. So that Fast Start program that we had mentioned earlier, where I was talking about how I earned like $700 in product credit and cash, that really right there has set me up to be able to start my business over and not have to come out of pocket a lot. And then on top of the Fast Start, then we have our hostess rewards too. So as a beauty guide, you have I keep talking to everybody like they're familiar with direct sales, but I know a lot of people have never even had an experience with it before. So in your account, in your website, in your back office, you would log in and you would open up a party link. And every order that you place, every order that your customers place, you want them to put their order, attach it to your party so that you get a certain percentage of rewards, and that's just product credit for yourself. So you get your fast start credit, you get the hostess rewards, and all of that. So they're different than our last company, but you're so still well taken care of. Yes, girl. Yeah, and another thing too, which I find really convenient, is that you can pay wholesale for your own products. You don't have to pay retail. You can choose whether you want to pay wholesale or retail, and you get the same, that there's no penalty for paying wholesale. You don't like miss out on a certain amount of commission or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have literally spent nothing out of pocket on my new business other than the kit. Yeah.
Same here.
How many people do each of you have on your teams currently?
I have 14.
And I think I have 6. Let me see. I don't want to forget anybody. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6. So 7 people, including me. Mm-hmm. Any more questions before we wrap this up, you guys? Feel free to comment later if you're watching the replay. I think that's it.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks, Christine.
Thanks for joining on my Christine talk show. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I had fun. I guess that's it. We'll have to come up with another idea for a fun video. Marisol, I'm going to answer you after we get off here because I'm going to end this video. Also, too, you guys, I'm going to be doing a compensation comparison. So if you're interested in that, look for that. I will be doing that probably within the next couple of days. And that's it.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for joining. We'll talk to you later. Bye.